Well, welcome to the 2011 Mayor's Recognitions Awards. My name is Jeff Kuhn. I'm the chair of the Fort Collins Commission on Disability. The Commission on Disability obviously sponsors this event each year. The role of the commission is to advise the Fort Collins City Council on issues relating to citizens with disabilities and to advocate for citizens with disabilities in our community. I'd like to take a couple minutes just to recognize the COD members that are here today. Michael Devereaux. Michelle Miller, over here, Michelle. Hetty Huber. Hetty, please stand up. I would just like to give a special thanks to Hetty. She is the nuts and bolts behind today's event. She put a lot of hard work in, and it's a great event, and thank you very much, Hetty, for all your work. We have two city liaisons to our commission, Ethan Cousins and Roseanne McDonald, who I'd also like to recognize for all of her work in helping today come about. The Mayor's Award started in 1982, and it's an annual tradition, obviously, that recognizes individuals, businesses, and agencies that have made significant contributions to persons with disabilities in our community. It's a wonderful event for those of you who haven't been here before, and I would just like to take this opportunity to thank you all for coming, all of the nominees, the families, and the members of the commission, and everyone else involved with today's event. I would like to introduce Mayor Karen White-Connaught, who will present this year's awards.
Thank you, Jeff. And thank all of you. What a wonderful day this is. Outside, it's typically October and it's beautiful. So it's a great day to celebrate. You know, it's no small thing to be a friend. The celebration today is about lending a hand, providing opportunities, recognizing strengths, and extending respect. But mostly, it is about friendship and the privilege of one friend saying thank you to another. For nearly 30 years, the Commission on Disability and the Mayor's Office has set aside this time to give those touched by the kind deeds of others a chance to express their thanks. In doing so, we recognize not just the actions of our nominees and award winners, but also the cumulative impact those actions have on individuals, on families, and indeed on our entire community. The friendships you'll hear about today have changed lives and our city for the better. Can you think of any other way to better celebrate than today's ceremony? The first award, we will recognize a local duo that have altered the course for many individuals with developmental disabilities through a partnership with Foothills Gateway Supported Employment. This special award, presented to Paul and Anita Pellegrino and Nita Crisp Crackers, recognizes their long-standing support of those with disabilities through the provision of important employment opportunities. Since 2005, the Pellegrinos have not only employed Foothills Gateway clients in their cracker packaging facilities, but they have also helped them develop important skills while showing them the respect they have earned by doing a job and doing it well. Stacy Hill of Foothills Gateway writes, Paul and Anita have demonstrated how good business can be combined with good works, expressing the Pellegrino's ethic of being generous with their time, trust, and respect. It is with pleasure that I present to Paul and Anita the 2011 Partnership Award.
On behalf of Paul and Anita, my name is Steve Landry. I'm one of the partners in Nita Crisp. Steve, you need to use a mic. And we'd just like to thank the mayor and the Commission on Disabilities and all the support we get in our efforts here in Fort Collins. Thank you.
Thank you. The Employer of the Year Award recognizes an area of business that supports the disability community by creating accessibility to their facility or providing viable employment opportunities for people with disabilities. Everyone in Fort Collins knows the Silver Grill Cafe. A Fort Collins icon, the Silver Grill has been feeding Old Town since 1933. It's the place to go for a long breakfast and the spot to take out of towners. We know the fantastic breakfast and we know the coffee mugs. And of course, I personally also know the cinnamon rolls. But maybe not everyone knows about John Primsky, a valued Silver Grill employee and a young man with Down syndrome. John began working at the grill 2 years ago and has since become an important part of the Silver Grill team. John's dad says of the experience, owner John Arnolfo and general manager Heather Beckman and the entire staff have contributed to my son's employment success. From the moment we inquired, they were positive from the start, providing training, coaching. The Silver Grill continues to stand out as a great employer here in Fort Collins, especially supporting persons with developmental disabilities. Our Employer of the Year is the Silver Grill Cafe. Please.
Very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just want to say,
You may. The mic is yours.
I just wanted to thank everybody, the mayor and the commissions on disability. We're very privileged to have the opportunity to have Johnny Primsky work with us. He's a prep cook and warms our gravies, but what he brings to the Silver Grill is much more than I ever anticipated, and it's the warmth, and his warmth is contagious. And Johnny always welcomes us with a high five and a hug at the end of the day. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Foothills Gateway and what they bring to this community. Again, I want to thank everybody.
Thank you.
Very appreciative. Thank you.
The Employee of the Year Award is presented to an individual whose daily work is focused on increasing community awareness of disability concerns and on improving the quality of life for persons with disabilities. This year's award is a little special because it does not go to a single person, but instead to a teaching team working with the Poudre School District Early Childhood Program. Amy Carter is a special education teacher heading a preschool classroom at Riffenberg Elementary School, and Mary Coupe serves as her paraprofessional. Together, the two create a learning environment that invites 3- and 4-year-olds to explore about everything. At circle time, in activity centers, and on the playground, children with special needs learn side by side with typically developing peers. And if you look inside the classroom, you never know who is who. Amy and Mary make that happen. Hetty Huber, mother to Cora, a 3-year-old with Down syndrome, says of Amy and Mary, they're both amazing educators, striving to provide the best classroom experience each day. But as Cora's mom, what I see is that they are also amazing people who look at our Cora and see first a little girl. They see her strengths, her sense of humor, her determination. They see that she is a whole person with a bright future. Amy and Mary give our family the tools and confidence, not so that we can make a way for Cora, but so that we can help her make a way for herself. Please welcome our 2011 Employees of the Year, Amy Carter and Mary Coupe.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The mic is yours if you
Okay.
like.
Wow. Today at 7, I didn't know I won. So, thank you,
It's like the
Mayor.
Academy Award.
Yeah, this is it for me. Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Commission, for this humbling, honoring award today. In the world of public school special education, we set our progress of our kids on goals and objectives. These goals are SMART goals. They are specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. If I were to make a professional goal for myself, it would go something like this. When given 32 4-year-olds, Amy will cater to the individual needs, provide exceptional instructional and research-based curriculum, and communicate with parents daily for 5 to 10 minutes, 4 times a week, for 5 consecutive data collection periods. Piece of cake, huh? Well, don't forget that we attach these goals with a baseline, and you don't want to know my baseline. I meet this goal probably 80% of the time for the past 12 days. When I think of this award today, I think of teachers that deserve it as master teachers. And I have 12 years experience, so I'm 1/3 of the way done, and my cup is 2/3 full. And when I think of the decreased funding and resources and the increased caseload and students, it can be daunting for a young professional like me to think of the future. But there are 2 things that hold me together and make me think of the future as so bright. And one being teamwork. And Mary and I are 2 East Coast girls that were just brought together by happenstance. And immediately I knew that this would be a strong partnership. Like 2 strong parents, we get together and we give and take the bad cop, good cop instantly on moments. And Mary is there, and when a child needs boundaries, she is there, and then she kisses their forehead right afterwards. I've never seen someone give so much boundaries and high expectation and loving at the same time as Mary does. And for that, I'm grateful, and she'll always be a true friend of mine. She's seen me at my limits, and she's seen me when I'm overwhelmed from all the expectations of wanting to be the world to all these kids. And her famous last words are, delete. She says it all the time. And to me, that it's not harsh. It means, prioritize and make sure that we put the kids first. And everything else is small stuff compared to loving the kids and making sure we're reaching their goals. The other thing that keeps me going is the hopes of having that one family that links arm in arm with me and helps to provide the best for their child. That one family that challenges me to learn more and to go to more trainings and to research more to make sure I'm doing the best for their child and strengthen me professionally and personally. And that one family that is invested in what I'm doing and believes that public special education is valuable and important. And I'm so thankful to say I have that family. And I don't only have that family, but I'm making a friend, and I have more than one family, and I'm so grateful for all the little pieces that my families give to me every day. And so I'm thankful for my family too. My mom's always believed in me, and my husband, and they support me when we try to be moms and teachers all at the same time. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're lucky, aren't we? The Service Provider of the Year Award recognizes an individual and/or agency associated with providing services to people with disabilities who work to increase community awareness of disability concerns and who create opportunities for people with disabilities to participate in the life of our community. In 1982, Respite Care opened its doors and immediately began making an impact on the families of children with developmental disabilities. The work done by the Respite staff is amazing, providing over 49,000 hours of care and giving parents a chance to rest, to rejuvenate, and to sometimes just run errands. So vital is their place in the Fort Collins community that this year the commission received 2 nominations, expressing thanks and admiration. The first comes from Patrick Brady of First Bank, who points out Respite Care's long-term work, their disregard for a family's ability to pay for services, and their strong administrative team. He says of the organization, Respite Care provides critical support that allows families to function better, enjoy greater satisfaction with life, cope with stress, and raise their children with developmental disabilities at home rather than placing them in a group setting. They care about the most vulnerable in our society and help them and their families live happy, more productive lives. Cheryl Sutherland tells how Respite Care has embraced her daughter Jessica, who is 17 and has cerebral palsy. The staff at Respite Care have become friends to Jessica. She loves Respite Care because she feels respected and important with the staff. They laugh with her, assist her in community activities, help her with her personal needs, and treat her like an equal. The quality of seeing the child first and the disability as only secondary is invaluable, not only to Jessica, but to her entire family and to all the families who utilize Respite Care. Mr. Brady puts it simply, Respite Care is a place where kids with developmental disabilities come to have fun so that parents can have time to refuel. For all the work they do for so many families, the Commission presents the 2011 Service Provider of the Year Award to Respite Care. Did you wish to speak?
I'd like to thank the mayor and of course the commission. I'm Leanne Garfield Massey and I'm the executive director of Respite Care, but I speak on behalf of our entire crew, board of directors, donors, all of those people that have supported us for 29 years, but mostly thank you to the families that have entrusted your precious jewels to us. It has been an honor, and thank you to Larimer County for supporting us financially, physically, emotionally, with your time, your energy, and your finances. Thank you so much.
The Volunteer of the Year Award is reserved for those who contribute significant time, energy, and talent to improving the quality of life for people with disabilities. What do you do when the community nominates so many exceptional volunteers that choosing only one to receive the Volunteer of the Award becomes an almost impossible task? Well, this year the Commission chose 2. Our first winner is Mrs. Phyllis Zimmerman, the president of the Autism Society of Larimer County. Mrs. Zimmerman founded the society in 2006, shortly after relocating to northern Colorado and recognizing the need for support for families impacted by autism. In the past 5 years, she has greatly increased public awareness of the issues surrounding autism. She has created programs to support educators and service providers, developed a pool of dedicated volunteers, and spearheaded community events that enhance the lives of individuals with autism. Among those events are Help Beat Autism, an awareness event that highlights drumming, dancing, and alternative therapies, Art on the Spectrum, Pump It Up birthday parties, monthly support meetings with free childcare, and an autism risk and management conference. Her accomplishments are outstanding. Donna Dundon calls Phyllis a much-needed voice and a comfort to many here in northern Colorado. And for her devotion for those with autism, we proudly present the Volunteer of the Year Award to Mrs. Phyllis Zimmerman.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Commission. And Mostly thank you for my family because, like it was mentioned, the Autism Society was founded in 2006. We're a small group of people. We have 6 people on the board, but we do big things. We dream big and we work hard, and my family knows my kids volunteer, my husband sacrifices the time that it takes to do what I do, and I find it's just an awesome privilege, and I'm honored to be able to be part of the journey for so many of these families. And looking out here at all the other organizations that do great collaborative work with us, I so appreciate it. And I just want to put a little plug out that we are always looking for volunteers for the different services that we do, different community events that we do, and also to serve on the board, because like I said, we are small. We have 6 people on the board, but we do some really big things. And once again, thank you so much. Thank you, Donna, for recognizing me. I don't do what I do for the money, obviously. I don't do it for the recognition. I do it for the heart and the impact that I can have on each individual family that I come in contact with. So thank you so much.
Our second volunteer of the year, Tom Rock, will be a familiar face to our guests from Respite Care since he has served there for the past 10 years. In that time, he has become a favorite of the kids who visit Respite Care and an important part of the Respite family. He volunteers every Tuesday afternoon and Saturday morning, as well as helps with special events like field trips and the annual prom and Allen's Park Wilderness Camp. He is even known as the Grill Master for special hamburger nights. In her nomination, Leanne Massey tells of how Tom has bonded with Nathan and Lily, and indeed with all the kids. Nathan and Lily are not Tom's only buddies at Respite Care. All of the children literally wait at the door for his arrival. Whether he is playing basketball in the gym or involved in a game of Uno with 6 kids of varying abilities, Tom is our champion. His passion for life is unquestionably one of his greatest assets, and it affects everyone around him. Tom also has a tremendous and positive impact on the Respite Care staff. Natalie Perea, child care coordinator, commented that her favorite thing about Tom is that when Tom arrives at Respite for his volunteer shift, he greets each child and staff member, whether with a hug, a high five, or a pat on the back. He always checks in with each kiddo to say hello and to see how their day went. Tom makes each of us feel special. Tom stands above them all, and it is my pleasure to present him with the 2011 Volunteer of the Year Award. You don't have to. It's not mandatory. We give the award whether you speak or not.
I'll do my best. Well, I want to thank you, Mayor, the Commission on Disability, and especially Leanne and Respite Care for this honor. And I feel honored to share it with Mrs. Zimmerman also. I feel so lucky to have found Respite Care. It's such an important, positive part of my life and has been for 10 years now. Every time I go there, I learn something valuable from these amazing, beautiful kids like Zach, my old friend, and Jackson, and Jessica. And also I enjoy the time I get to spend with this truly wonderful staff. Thank you all.
I think I've seen Tom 5 times this week, haven't I? The Dorothy Lasley Memorial Award recognizes an individual with a disability who is actively working toward increasing awareness of the rights of those with disability, as well as improving their quality of life. Consideration is given to the nominee's contribution to the community through volunteering, organizational membership, and/or community leadership. It is named for Dorothy Lasley, who was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis at the age of 2. This necessitated the use of a wheelchair for mobility and later caused the loss of Dorothy's eyesight. Ms. Lasley worked tirelessly throughout her lifetime towards removing both architectural and attitudinal barriers for citizens with disabilities. She was an advocate for people with disabilities, donating countless volunteer hours until her death in 1983. She worked for equal opportunities for employment, transportation, housing, and education, and independent living during a time when society was just beginning to recognize the value of including all its citizens in daily life. In many ways, she was a pioneer. Presenting the Dorothy Lasley Award is always a privilege, and this year is no exception. Nominated by Marcia Fison and Mike Devereaux, Mrs. Sarah Ullman endeavors in both big and small ways to improve daily life for herself and others challenged by disability. Following several surgeries to treat brain tumors, Sarah has developed an increasing visual impairment as well as partial paralysis, and so she operates from a very unique perspective. First, her disability is always readily apparent, so she often doesn't get the same care and respect a person in a wheelchair or with a white cane would receive. Second, she has made a profound life transition that allows her to clearly see what it means to be disabled in an enabled world. She notices things around her in a way that the average person wouldn't. Mike and Marcia offer the following example. We'd like to give an example of Sarah's diligence for the disabled in our community. This summer, Sarah noticed hanging plants at a local shopping center that were located in such a way to be a hazard to a visually impaired person. She took it upon herself to speak with the management of the shopping center. They not only listened, but moved the hanging plant to a better location. To realize the significance of her accomplishment, imagine yourself walking into a solid object unexpectedly. Now imagine the increased vulnerability that would result for a person who is visually impaired. This action on Sarah's part was not of small consequence. In addition to this kind of daily commitment and compassion, Sarah also volunteers with the Poudre Valley Health System and the Barrier Busted Public Transit Action Group. Mike and Marcia call her the go-to person for hands-on information for transport routes, for her diligence, for volunteerism, and for a devotion to making Fort Collins easier to navigate for people with disabilities and a better city for all. We present Sarah Ullman with the 2011 Dorothy Lasley Memorial Award. Sarah, congratulations. You know, she's familiar because she used to be at city council meetings all the time in the early 2000s, correct?
Yeah.
Speaking for transport.
Yes.
The mic is yours, Sarah.
I just want to thank the people in Fort Collins that they make the disabled things going ability to make it easier for us. Thank you.
Thank you. The Spirit of Fort Collins Award is presented to an individual, business, or organization that embodies what it means to live in Fort Collins and to embrace the ideals of friendship, compassion, and respect. It recognizes those who exemplify the spirit of assisting persons with disabilities as they live and thrive in the Fort Collins community. Living in Fort Collins brings to mind the mountains, our natural areas, and our bike trails. Hiking, biking, running, all of these are hallmarks of Fort Collins. Our ethos is centered on an active outdoor lifestyle. Just look around you. Every car is equipped with a thule for camping gear, and bike racks and a jogging stroller is considered essential baby gear. Athletes in Tandem, a local nonprofit created by Dennis Vanderheiden to increase the quality of life for challenged athletes and inspire those around them, has found viable ways to provide opportunities for those athletes to pursue the active Fort Collins lifestyle and it is for this reason it has been selected as the 2011 Spirit of Fort Collins Award recipient. Currently, Athletes in Tandem pairs challenged athletes with non-challenged athletes to compete in triathlons and running events locally and across the country. Visit their Facebook page and be amazed. Attend an event that they compete in and be inspired. Hetty Huber says of Athletes in Tandem, "I've never met Mr. Vanderheiden or any of his volunteers or any of the challenged athletes who participate in his program. What I have seen, though, is the excitement and the pride on the faces of everyone involved with Athletes in Tandem teams across the finish line, along with the respect and the excitement they inspire in race spectators. Please welcome our 2011 Spirit of the Fort Collins Award recipient, Athletes in Tandem." Are you Mr. Vanderheiden?
I am.
We get to meet Mr. Vanderheiden.
Thank you. First off, it's not easy for me to talk in front of a group like this, so it's a whole lot easier for me to do a triathlon or a running event pushing somebody or not. So bear with me. Thank you, Mayor, and the Commission on Disability for recognizing us. As I was sitting here unprepared, I thought how nice it is to be given the Spirit Award, because it kind of matches how I look at things in life, and how what we do is a match with sharing my passion for athletics and competing in sports. And it's a whole lot easier for me to run a marathon or half marathon or do a triathlon than it is to talk in front of a group of people like this. But I'm very grateful for families like the Scotts and Zachary Scott, who was my very first athlete, trusting me to just take him out in a triathlon in the middle of a lake with hundreds of other crazy athletes who are racing to become in first or just to challenge themselves. So I'm very grateful that they accepted my offer to be a part of Athletes in Tandem, and I'll always hold a special place in my heart for them. Thank you very much. I'm very honored. Thank you. Thank you.
At this time, we'd like to recognize our other nominees. Marty Hill, Service Provider of the Year. We have, if you're here. Lois Douthit and Hetty Huber, Volunteer of the Year. And Connor Kelly, the Dorothy Lasley Memorial Award. We began our presentation today by focusing not on mere partnership or collaboration, but on the ideal of friendship. The difference is significant. This room is full of goodwill and camaraderie as we pause to say thank you for the compassion, the companionship, and the mutual respect that are the hallmarks of something more than a social contract. Look around the room at our nominees and our award winners. Look at the people who took the time to nominate them. Community involvement and volunteerism is important. They are vital aspects of living in a good and a healthy place, and Fort Collins cannot thrive without them. But clearly today, our time together is about something sweeter and grander. Today we celebrate friendship and the way it grows and multiplies and changes who we are. Today we offer a heartfelt thank you to all of our friends. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Wettenau. Very good job. Obviously, we had several nominations for these awards, and we always like to get as many nominations as we can so that we can recognize those persons that are so important in our community. Nominations for next year's awards will be available all year on the city website. And if you go to, we have our own web page, the Commission on Disability, and you can download that. And I encourage anyone here who knows of anyone or is involved with anyone that would be eligible for one of these awards, please do take the time to fill out a nomination form. We would certainly appreciate that. The month of October is National Disability Awareness Month, and it's days like today that remind us how important people with disabilities and those who work with people with disabilities and those of us who have family members with disabilities, how important they are and how integral they are to our community. And I would just like to recognize, as most of you already know, that really every day is National Disability Awareness Day, 365 days a year. And I think we're all very fortunate to be involved in that. But thank you all very much for coming. And it's a very special day for just about everybody here, that's for certain. And I look forward to next year. Thank you.